Okay, so in this video, we're going to complete the square again, but now we have this leading coefficient here. The constant's already moved to the other side, so that step's been completed for us. But the second step in the previous video was to remove or factor out the leading coefficient. So one of the things that you need to make sure that you do is when you factor it out, so the 3 is all that's going to be removed. So when we do that, that leaves a negative 2x equal to 5. This guy stays on the outside. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and complete the square. So I'm going to put our 3x squared minus 2x. I'm going to leave a little bit of room because we know we're going to introduce a number here. And so we're going to introduce negative 2 divided by 2 squared. So I'm going to add in negative 2 divided by 2 squared. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Squared is 1. So I know that this is going to factor to x minus 1, x minus 1. But that 3 is still on the outside. Now we got to be careful with the number that we add in when we have a leading coefficient. So I'm going to do a little bit of work here. We got the 3 on the outside, and I have x squared minus 2x plus 1. Well, if I distribute the 3, that gives me the 3x squared. That gives me the negative 6x. But when I distribute it here, it's not a 1 that's being added in because of the 3 on the outside. We're actually adding in a 3. So when we balance our equation, we want to make sure that the term we add is this piece here, which is the negative 1, and multiplied by the factor on the outside. So we're going to add that piece in on the left side, on the right side. So that's going to end up being 5 plus 3. I'm going to write it as a binomial squared, and I get 3 times the quantity of x minus 1 quantity squared is equal to 8. I got to divide both sides by 3, and now I can go ahead and solve my equation. I have x minus 1 quantity squared is equal to 8 over 3. Now this one gets a little messy because we don't have a nice radical term. So I have x minus 1 is equal to a positive root 8 over root 3, or x minus 1 is equal to a negative root 8 over root 3. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And let me go ahead and give ourselves a little bit more room here. And now what I need to do is, and this guy should be a, that shouldn't be here. This should be just 1 plus root 8 over root 3. Now what I need to do is I need to rationalize this term. So in order to rationalize, if I have root 8 over root 3, I multiply both the top and the bottom by root 3. 8 times 3 is root 24. That's all over 3. And then my factors are 6 and 4. So that gives me 2 root 6 over 3. Okay? So I have x is equal to one plus 2 root 6 over 3. And this guy I've already rationalized, so I know I'm 1 minus 2 root 6 over 3. And that is our final answer.